Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Vatican II. It sounds boring, but it's actually kind of important.
Yeah, and we're focusing on the document called Apostolicam Actuositatem. Yeah, I probably said that wrong.
You're close enough. It's one of those names you just kind of commit to and hope nobody corrects you.
But before we get into that, think about the 1960s for a second. Like, everything was changing.
Civil rights movement, Vietnam War, space race.
People were questioning everything, like government, culture, and even religion.
And then the Pope John 23rd comes in, and instead of playing it safe, he calls it the Vatican II.
Which nobody expected him to.
Yeah, people thought he was just going to be a placeholder pope and not really change anything.
Instead, he's like, let's update the church, which was kind of bold.
And when he says update, he doesn't mean in changing beliefs, just how the church connects with people.
He used this word aggiornamento, which basically means bringing things up to date.
And he also talked about using mercy instead of being super strict and all the time.
Which probably sounded really different back then.
Yeah, and even though he died before it finished, that idea kind of it stuck through the whole council.
So fast forward a bit, Pope Paul VI finishes the Vatican II and puts out the Apostolicam Actuositatem. Dang,
Apostolicam
Actuositatem.
Actuositatem.
Still can't say it.
You're good. Basically, it's about the role of regular people in the church.
Like not priests?
Yeah, like everyone else.
Yeah, before this, most people thought that the church was mainly clergy doing everything, and everyone else was just kind of watching.
So this flipped that?
Yeah, pretty much. It said lay people, which are normal people, actually share in the mission and contributed to the church.
Like your everyday matters, everyday life matters, like school, work, family, whatever.
So it's not just about going to the church once a week?
Exactly. It's more like how you live it all the time.
I think that's why it still matters now. Because it actually applies to normal life.
Yeah, it's not just some abstract thing.
All right, now we gotta go through the three big ideas, because Miss Bass will definitely expect that.
Yeah, we can skip those.
The first one we'll talk about is aggiornamento.
Which again, just means updating how the church presents things.
Not changing beliefs, just explaining them better.
Exactly, Mason. Making them make sense to people today instead of just repeating stuff.
It's kind of like translating something into a language people actually understand.
That actually helps a lot.
The second one is resourcement.
This one sounds worse than it is.
It just means going back to the original sources.
Like the Bible and the early church teachings.
So instead of making new ideas, they check what it was originally supposed to be.
Yeah, going back to the basics.
Which is kind of smart if you think about it. The third one that we'll talk about is participation.
This one's easy.
Yeah, it just means don't be passive. Let's be active with it.
Like actually be involved, not just sitting there just twiddling your thumbs.
So at Mass, or even outside of it?
Exactly. It's saying faith is something you do, not just something you have.
So what would people in the 60s think of hearing this for the first time?
Honestly, mixed reactions. Some people would be against it while others would go with it. Some people would feel excited because it gives them more of a role in the church, and others might feel unsure because they were used to a more structured system where the clergy led everything.
So it was kind of a big shift in mindset?
Definitely. It was telling ordinary people that their daily lives, work, family, relationships could be a part of their faith life and much more.
Okay, now that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it kind of makes it more personal.
So how does that show up today?
Well, you see it in things like service projects, youth ministry, and even how people share their beliefs online. Like the idea is that like faith isn't really confined to a church building.
So, like, even just helping people or being a good person counts?
Yeah, exactly. Those actions reflect your beliefs.
Do you think there were any downsides to all these changes?
I mean, yeah, because like some people felt that like in trying to modernize certain traditions, we were like they were weakened or lost. Others felt confused about what changed and like what didn't. So there has always been like a balance to maintain.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like too much change too fast can mess people up.
But the goal is never to like lose tradition. It was to help people understand and live it better.
All right, so bringing it back to now, does this still matter?
I think it does. You see way more people involved now.
Yeah, like youth groups, volunteering, and even people talking about faith on social media.
It definitely feels more open.
But also, not everyone cares.
Yeah, some people just ignore it completely.
And there are many still debates about whether the Vatican II changed too much or not enough.
So it's kind of mixed.
But I think the main idea still stands. Everyone has a role.
You don't have to be a priest to make a difference.
It's more about what you actually do.
Like, your actions matter just as much as anything else.
Honestly, I think that's why the document still connects to us this present day.
Yeah, because it's not just a theory.
It's pretty much just saying your everyday life can mean something.
Which is probably the most relatable part in the story.
Hey, and let's welcome Adam here.
Hey, it's really great to be here. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm really excited to dive into the discussion about Vatican II and Apostolicam Actuositatem.
So Adam, tell me, how did Apostolicam Actuositatem change the way the church views leadership?
Yeah, absolutely. So Apostolicam Actuositatem was really revolutionary in that it shifted the church's understanding of leadership. Instead of seeing leadership as just something reserved for clergy, it emphasized that lay people are full participants in the church's mission. So leadership became a shared responsibility, empowering all members of the church to act as witnesses and agents of change.
All right, next question. What are some real examples of the lay people making an impact because of this document?
Yeah, definitely. One big example is in Catholic social justice movements. After Vatican II, we saw lay people really step up in areas like charity, education, and advocacy for the poor. So for instance, lay Catholic groups have been at the forefront of peace efforts and community organizing, really bringing that vision to life.
How is this document different from others in the Second Vatican Council?
That's a great question. So Apostolicam Actuositatem is really focused on the lay vocation, whereas other documents like Lumen Gentium were more about the nature of the church itself. So this one zooms in on how the laity have a distinct and essential role in leadership and mission.
Did this document affect only Catholics or did it influence other Christian groups too?
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. While the document was specific to the Catholic Church, it did have a ripple effect. Other Christian communities looked at the renewed focus on lay involvement and started rethinking how their own members could be empowered. So it kind of helped spark a broader conversation across denominations.
What challenges do lay people face when trying to live out this mission today?
Yeah, that's a big one. I think a lot of lay people face practical challenges like balancing family, work, and parish life. And sometimes the structures in the church still rely heavily on clergy. So the challenge is making space for lay leadership to be supported and truly recognized.
How does this connect to teenagers or students specifically?
That's a great question. I think for teens, it really shows that even at a young age, they can be active in their faith. Whether it's through service, leading in youth groups, or just living out their values at school, they're part of that mission right now.
That's interesting. What would the church look like today if this document never existed?
Yeah, that's a really thought-provoking question. I think without Apostolicam Actuositatem, the church might still be much more clerically centered. Lay people might not have had the same sense of responsibility or empowerment, and the church's engagement with the world might be less dynamic. So it really opened up a whole new horizon.
How does this idea of participation relate to the modern social issues?
Yeah, that's a great link. I mean, the idea of participation really challenges us to engage with things like justice, equality, and environmental care. So it pushes lay people and and really all Christians, to see their faith as something that should move them to action in these urgent social issues today.
Does this document say anything about working with people outside the church?
Yeah, it does, actually. Apostolicam Actuositatem really encourages lay people to engage with the broader world. It says they're called to collaborate with people of other faiths or even no faith, as long as it's for the common good. So the church is really invited to be a part of that wider dialogue.
And why do you think this message still matters in 2026?
Yeah, I think it still matters because the world today is so interconnected. We have all these complex issues, social, political, environmental, and the church's call for lay participation is still a really powerful reminder that all of us have a role to play in shaping a more just and compassionate world.
All right, that's it for today.
Hopefully that made sense and wasn't too boring.
And yeah, just try to do something good. That's kind of the takeaway for this.
All right, see you guys next time.